Hey, what's up, lightboltjoe here. Today we are going to discuss the 6th Hellraiser film, Hellseeker. So this came out in 2002. So Kirsty's back, right? Kirsty Cotton, the actress who plays Kirsty, is back. She was in 1, 2. She was in 3, but she was like just in like video clips that Joey the reporter was seeing via getting archive footage from the the facility that Kirsty and Tiffany were in the second film. So, like, we know at the end of the second, she not so much makes a deal with Pinhead. She, like, kind of, like, separates Captain Elliot Spencer with the Pinhead demon kind of a thing to, like, let him be. And, like, she's done. She doesn't have to worry about the box and stuff anymore. But, like, she opened the door. So by default, she still has to go to hell. Like, her soul is still Pinhead's. And, like, there's a whole little speech that he has at the end of the 6th film, which was neat in the explanation of it, because Pinhead is very, very much so. He announces at some point, who was it? Was it Frank or someone? Someone opened the boxes and he says, no deals and no something else. And then he literally makes a deal with Kirsty to get souls in exchange for her soul. That she opened the box, she opened the door, you know, a long time ago, that it was always destined for her to be his. And so she still doesn't want to go to hell, obviously, and she made a deal with him that she'll get 5 souls in replace of hers. And Pinhead accepts the deal with his Cenobites around him. But what's interesting is the 6th film, and I've seen a lot of reviews on this as well. The 6th film would have been good. It's a bad film, but the 6th film would have been good if it had no tie to Hellraiser. Because, like, the main character, Trevor, is suffering from amnesia and, like, has horrible headaches, and he blacks out and he can't remember things. And these women that he's been involved with are dying, and his coworker winds up killing themselves, and then he winds up being dead the entire time, and like all of this was just his hellscape in his own mind, dealing with these things. Trevor is Kirsty's husband, and he buys her a box, another box, for her anniversary, for their anniversary. And she says, "Why are you doing this? I thought you cared about us." Like, because he knew her history, obviously, with the box, and he still gave it to her anyway and says, "Open it." And she opens it, and the puzzle configuration goes, and then hell comes forth in the sense of Pinhead. So she makes the deal with Pinhead at the end of the movie, which is really the beginning of the movie, which I liked, but it was so drawn and really bad acting from everybody else aside from Doug Bradley and the girl who plays Kirsty, whose name I can't remember. It was like hard to watch in the sense of cringe. Not even in a gore sense. It was just so awkward watching these people act like they've never acted before. It was very, very weird. It was very unfortunate. I do like the explanation how and I like that Pinhead has a soft spot for Kirsty, which is funny because he's a villain and he's a demon character, and he is in charge of, you know, creating the pains and pleasures within the hellscape, right? But like those who are seeking hell, a Hellseeker, that's why they open the puzzle box. It just, it didn't feel like a Hellraiser film, and that was the interesting part. That's why I love 1 through 4, because it's one continuous closed story. So to have Kirsty come back in making a deal with Pinhead, I would have wanted to see that in the beginning of the film. I would have been more interested in seeing it in the beginning if it was executed better. It had a good concept if it wasn't a Hellraiser film, but since it is a Hellraiser film, that deal with Pinhead should have been in the beginning of the film. Should not have been at the ending. I get it. It was the kind of twist, but it was just lame. If it was explained ahead of time and gone through, it would have been great. Because we already, in the 5th film, we already had that officer, Joseph, is stuck in a loop in his mind in Chicago because that's his hell, right? So to have Trevor being stuck in a hell loop within his own mind again, we already did it. We did it in the 5th film. Give us something different in the 6th film. I think Kirsty making the deal with Pinhead at the beginning of the 6th film would have been way more interesting and would have been well more received moving forward within that particular film. But it had a good concept. It just wasn't executed properly. I don't remember it. from back in the day when I was a kid. I was, what, 12 when this came out? I genuinely don't remember it, but we did it. It's interesting. Not good. The acting was terrible, aside from Kirsty and Pinhead. And that's it. On to the next review. Mucho mahalo.